Hey everyone, welcome back to Movie Idol. So wow, do we have a lot to talk about for episode 7 titled Open Your Eyes. Now before I jump in, I do have to warn you that this will contain spoilers obviously for tonight's episode, which is titled Bonds. That's episode 6. Major spoilers because they hinted at a lot of stuff in tonight's episode at what we can expect in episode 7. And I do really think that Sadiq is going to be a death in episode 7. With what they're setting up, it seems like that's probably going to be the case. Maybe he won't die in that episode. I shouldn't say that, but I feel like there's a certain revelation that we'll talk about in this video, but I think it's going to happen in that episode. It could result in his death in that episode or in future episodes. But yeah, we'll talk about that. But before we jump into this, I do want to let you guys know that I will be posting most likely a third show video tomorrow. I was planning on having one out tonight, but I already have 2 videos out tonight. So I'll save that one for tomorrow. Depending on the news that we get, there's supposed to be some third show news coming out on Talking Dead. That's probably why Gimple was there. He may or may not have given some kind of update on the Rick Grimes movie, but he's sick apparently, so that's why he wasn't on Talking Dead. We'll see what he reveals in the next week or 2 or 3 weeks, if he plans on coming back or however they plan to do that. But there's supposed to be some third show news, so maybe that's a release date, a title. I'll talk about all that in a video tomorrow if they do get into that. Again, it depends on what they reveal, but just expect that. So yeah, if you're new to the channel and you want Walking Dead content, just make sure to be a subscriber. Now, I do want to point out that Michonne's not in the trailer, so she's not in episode 7 at all. I do think she's going to be in episode 8, though, for sure, because I think that episode takes place at Oceanside, at least part of it will, obviously, and Michonne, we heard, was going there, and so I don't know how she's going to tie into the rest of the story, but yeah, this season, I mean, Michonne really wasn't a part of this season at all, and with what they have going on right now, it's not the end of the world. All of this Sadiq stuff is really fascinating. All the Negan and Beta stuff is really, I'm enjoying the hell out of all of that. But I really want to see her return. She's leaving soon. I want to get as much as we can of that character. So I expect her to return in like 2 weeks. And then obviously, I don't know how much she's going to return in the second half of the season. She's probably, at the most, she'll be in 4 episodes, right? Because she's rumored to leave in 12. But yeah, we'll see. I don't think she'll be in 9, 10, 11, and 12. She'll probably be in 9, maybe 10, and then in 12 or something like that. Anyways, let's talk about Sadiq, because in this trailer, we learned that Sadiq is going through some stuff. And the reason why I think he's gonna, or we're gonna learn what happened to him is because the episode is titled Open Your Eyes. And in episode 6, we kept hearing Alpha and Beta whisper that to Sadiq. They kept saying, open your eyes, open, or whatever. And he went through that whole episode where he blacked out completely, woke up outside. And so that was a tease, I think, or a hint that in episode 7, we're gonna learn exactly why he's been going crazy like this. And the thing about Sadiq and this whole situation surrounding the Whisperer Pikes is that it's always been off. Everyone thought he was a spy or something like that. There were people thinking that he helped Alpha lure them or something like that. But I think what may have happened was that he actually helped Alpha kill somebody. Not willingly, of course. I think Alpha actually forced him to do it, and he just completely blocked it out. That's why he's going through all of this. I think that's the point of it. Like, they wouldn't be doing all of this if it was just, oh, he went through some traumatic experience, because our characters have went through so many traumatic experiences, right? They wouldn't be doing this for that reason. I think it's worse. I think he actually killed someone. And I think the person that he killed was Enid, but we'll talk about that in a second. First, I want to talk about what we actually got in this trailer here. We see Sadiq, he's, again, going really crazy. He sees Alpha actually standing outside wearing the same green dress, I believe, that she wore during the fair. I mean, it was the dress he would have saw her in, right? And this trailer really focuses heavily on that. It focuses on how crazy Sadiq is going. Like, he actually, at one point, he looks at these bars here. It reminds him of Pikes, and he just thinks of, obviously, the Whisperer Pikes. We see him here jumping in water. I don't know what this is even related to, but he's obviously going really crazy. And so that's why I'm raising the question, is Sadiq going to die in episode 7? Like, we see this shot here, he's with Rosita, and if you notice, he's with Coco a lot. He's spending a lot of time with his daughter, which feels very similar to the Rick Grimes situation last season, where they really put Rick with Judith right before he left. They made that really happy episode. They've been doing that with Sadiq. If you notice, he's been getting a lot of screen time lately. He's constantly, like, almost in every episode, he's doing so much. He's spending time with Coco, he's really taking care of everyone. They made a point of making Dante the doctor, which kind of has me thinking that, well, you know, if Sadiq dies, they don't have to worry about, you know, there being no doctor because Dante is there, right? But then we have shots like this where you can clearly see him with Rosita, and they're, you know, obviously he's probably checking in on her and stuff like that. I actually wouldn't be surprised if Rosita said something about how much she cared for him or something like that. Also, if you can hear that upstairs right now, I apologize. My girlfriend's cleaning out the shower, so I'm not sure why she's doing that right now. I told her I was recording, but there are some weird shots, though, that I'm really curious about. Like this shot here, Sadiq finds this body on the ground. There's a cross on it. Maybe they're planning on burying this person. I don't know who this person is. Maybe it's a patient. Obviously, everyone is sick. That's definitely a high possibility. But this seems to be a very Sadiq-focused episode, which is why I'm thinking he's going to die. It's just, how does he die? Because there's no Whisperers around. I just don't see how he's going to die, you know? Maybe the Whisperer that they captured is responsible for killing him. Or maybe somehow Sadiq escapes Alexandria, leaves, and that results in his death. But yeah, I don't know. Just personally, with how much they're focusing on Sadiq, it's like, he kind of has to die. And now to circle back to what I was talking about with Enid, the reason why I think it would be perfect if he killed her specifically was because Sadiq was responsible for teaching Enid everything she knew about, I guess, being a doctor or what have you, right? All of her medical experience, everything she learned from Sadiq. And so rewatching season 9, if Sadiq is or was responsible for killing Enid, that would just be sad. Like whenever they say that, you know, Enid's like, I learned from the best and all of that. I can't remember exactly what she was saying, but it's kind of sad because Sadiq is going to kill her later on. It's just so messed up, but that is something that the Whisperers would do, right? You know how sad that would be if Sadiq was the one who actually killed Enid, if Alpha forced him to do that. I don't see how he can live with himself. That's why I feel like the character is just going to die. It's gonna be one of those things, and I've mentioned this before, but I do think Sadiq should die just because, I mean, just this character is really amazing. With what he got this season, it's just awesome. And characters should never really outlive or live past 3 seasons, I think. When you're side characters, I feel like you should die kind of 2 seasons in or 3 seasons in, around there. This is Sadiq's 3rd season now, right? And I like the idea of maybe Sadiq actually died in season 9. Like when that Whisperer Pike moment happened, there wasn't 10 victims, there was 11. But there's a lot more to talk about. We see Carol and Daryl put that prisoner in a cell and they're interrogating, or I guess Daryl's interrogating the prisoner. He says, I would never betray Alpha. She loves all of us. And yeah, I'm thinking that Daryl's probably going to learn some information from him. I really don't know what information, most likely on the Horde. And I think he'll probably learn, like, for sure that Alpha was responsible for all those walker attacks and stuff happening at the hilltop, if Daryl knows about that. He might learn some information about Negan. It depends on the timeline of all this stuff. Like, he might have seen Negan arrive at the Whisperer camp. He may have been involved or been a part of that. It all depends. Obviously, this is all for a reason. I don't see this ending in Daryl just killing him because he's not giving out any information. I just don't see it ending that way. I feel like he'll give some kind of information, I'm sure. But we do see Carol and Lydia. They're going out to look for, I guess, the Horde location. Carol tells Lydia, I'm assuming it's Lydia, it's just a voiceover, but it has to be Lydia. And she's basically just saying, you have to pick a side, which that's why I'm thinking it's directed at Lydia, because she wants Lydia to be okay, I'm guessing, with the possibility of Alpha's death. And Lydia might be really torn on that. Obviously, it's her mom, right? No matter how bad of a person she is, Lydia, I think if Alpha did die, she would be heartbroken because it's her mom. So Carol's trying to prep her up for that. I think Carol wants her to make a decision. Your mom can't live. It's just as simple as that. If you want to live in peace, we all want to live in peace here. Your mom just can't be alive. And Lydia's probably going to have a hard time with that. And I think that's why this episode is going to be really important to see what happens with those 2 characters. Those characters obviously have a big connection. Henry, the tragedy of his death and what happened last season. I mean, I can't wait to see how that's going to affect these characters in this episode, what they're going to talk about, if they're going to open up a bit more and just see where that goes, because Carol's out there again. Where does that lead? Does that lead to more Whisperer stuff? Like, that's the thing about all of this. Episode 8 is going to be a really, really huge episode. It's the mid-season finale, so expect a lot. Like, Negan is not even in episode 7. Well, actually, he could be. I think there's supposed to be some alpha and beta stuff, right? So Negan could be there. It's possible that he just wasn't in the trailer. We'll see anyways, but there is supposed to be something here, and I'll do a video this week talking about this. I really will. Alpha is set to die very soon. She is. Like, she's probably going to die, if they follow the comic, in episode 8. She's not really there in 7. She is, but she has a small role, it seems like. They're setting up her death in episode 8. At this point, they really are. Because Carol is out there, like maybe Carol's the one who does it. If you follow the comics, Negan is at the Whisperer camp. You know, he can do it too. But they're going towards this point right now. And when that moment does happen, the Whisperer War starts. And that's why I keep saying the Whisperer War is going to start in this mid-season finale. Everything's ramping up right now. Daryl has that prisoner. Carol's out there with Lydia right now. Negan is at the Whisperer camp. The tension is really rising right now. We also have some Aaron and Gamma stuff, which I just, to be honest, I'm still really confused about. I don't know what's really going on there. There are some day shots of them meeting, and then there's also some night shots of them meeting. Like, so yeah, they obviously, at least at minimum, meet twice in this episode. And remember, Gamma is apparently setting Aaron up or something like that, or I guess Alpha wants her to, Who knows if Gamma actually follows through with that, but that's the idea there, is Alpha wants Gamma to be close with Eren because they can probably use Eren for something. So we'll see what they have planned there with that storyline. I still am really confused with it. I imagine in this episode we'll learn more as to why Alpha wants to use Eren or why the Metal Man is so useful. As of now, we'll just have to wait and see. This is kind of just a small storyline right now that's being introduced, so yeah, we'll see where this goes. But overall, I am so excited for episode 7. There's no Eugene in the Commonwealth stuff. That's why I'm thinking that when they bring it back up, they will for sure in episode 8, and then we'll learn that her name is Stephanie. We could learn that she's from Ohio. They could introduce that. There's going to be some stuff with Michonne and all that. Negan will come back. They'll wrap up some of the Whisperer War stuff, and then some big moment will happen. Maybe Alpha dies, and that just, that starts the entire Whisperer War. That would be really messed up to happen this fast, but I can kind of see it, honestly. If they decide to do that in the mid-season finale, I would buy it. With what they're doing right now and with 6, and then 7 seems to be this whole really Alpha, I wouldn't say Alpha focused episode, but she has a large presence there, obviously, because, just with her own storyline and then stuff with Sadiq. Yeah, I can see how they would kill her off in episode 8. My worry about that is that there's no real threat. Like, Beta's threatening and Gamma is kind of threatening, but Alpha is like the key to the Whisperers, and if they killed her off this fast, it's like, is Beta then, I guess, the big bad of the second half of the season? I just don't know how I feel about that. Having Alpha around is definitely really nice. So I still, the comic fan of me thinks it's going to happen in the mid-season finale, but like the show fan, just with what we've gotten, I think there's going to be a change there. I think she's going to survive, and yeah, she'll be in the second half. But overall, yeah, post your thoughts down below. Let me know what you guys all think. Make sure to be a subscriber if you want more Walking Dead content like this, and thanks for watching.